I told you before, you know, my parents, my father, he was not a person who was not saved that time, but he never believed so much in witchcraft. So when we were born, he just told us there is no witchcraft. Did you hear that? Yes. So when I was young, I was at high school. Actually, before high school, I was still in primary. They called me to go and preach somewhere in the village. And in this village, one of my classmates had lost a mother. So the mother died. And they said, oh, at the school, some of the students said, would you go to escort your classmates? So we went together. You didn't hear me. So I went there. And when people saw me, they're like, this boy must preach, must preach. I was already known that I preach. So I went there and I preached. I will never forget. Romans chapter 12. And after preaching, and I'm done. And I'm like, but we need to go back to school. You know, we need to go back to school. It was not far. It was just a walking distance. We need to go back to school. So it was around 1 a.m. We were preaching at night. There were people, you know, some of you who have been in the villages. If I told you I've been there. So, you know, people, they gather. So we were there. And so after preaching, and I'm like, let's just walk back to school. And I'm with my friend there, and we're walking, going to school. As we're walking, we see fire burning on the road. Fire burning on the road. As we go closer, it is burning ahead. And my friend is like, that's witchcraft. I'm like, to me, according to my father, witchcraft does not exist. So we walked. The more we are going closer, the fire was burning ahead. And what's happening? And then we just heard something like a blast ahead of us. A big bang ahead of us. And we all stopped. So we are thinking, should we run? So the first thing is everybody's turning back where we should run. And as we turn back, we find a woman standing at the back there. And she has blindfolded herself. And she's looking at us like this. In the middle of the road. She's standing like this. And my friend was an athlete. He was doing cross country. Running. And this is 1 at night. 1 a.m. I just heard something like, psst, like, you know, like someone has just hit the ground like this. The next thing I checked like this, my friend is gone. I checked like this, it was at night. So what did I do? I just joined running away. And there was something that was happening. You didn't hear me. So I joined the guy. But when I'm running, it's like my legs are tied. And I'm trying to run. And my legs are tied. Like this. And then when I begin to scream, I woke up. Actually, it was a dream. So I woke up like this. I know you like stories. You're like, I know you like stories. I woke up like this. It was a dream. This dream. In the morning, I go to school. Exactly, my classmate, the mother has passed away. That's why they used to call me a dreamer at school. I would tell dreams, and they're like, hi, dreamer. From a dreamer to major one. So, what do you think happened when they said you should go and escort? I am remembering the whole dream. And now they're telling me like, you be the one escorting your friend to the funeral. I'm remembering. that thing that I saw, it will happen again. Now watch this. But what really happened? You need to understand, because some of you do not understand how dynamics of things work. So now I'm thinking now. My father said there's no witchcraft, but what I saw, that was pure witchcraft in my dream. So I join, I go with him. You know, I'm like, but that dream, when I was coming back, I didn't go with him. It was that other friend. And that other friend is not on the trip. You understand? So they only picked me to escort him. And I'm thinking, but in the dream, I was with that other friend. So we went to the funeral, and I'm sitting there like this, and the whole night finishes. The whole night. I didn't go to school. I was there until morning. And I'm like, what was that? Now, what am I trying to tell you? When I went to tell my biological father about it, he was arguing. Now, tell me, a man with an encounter with what I saw in my dream, and with a person with a mere argument. And I said, Dad, witchcraft exists? He said, no. I said, let me tell you. I had this encounter. He said, it was just a dream. I said, but how? How is it that the following day, my classmate, who I saw in the dream, exactly, the mother dies? He said, no.